Welcome to Wizards Outlook. As always, joined by Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson, Harpe Jr., and, hey, we told you guys how important it was for the Wizards to finish out this month strong, let alone take care of the games against teams that they're literally fighting with in the standings. They did just that tonight, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 119-110, which makes it 8 in a row now on this win streak. 5 players scored in double figures for Washington. Saw them get some key stops late. They kept the turnovers down in this one. And, it's fun watching Allen and Gafford taking turns trying to put each other in the basket, with both of them succeeding at times. So, Ray, we'll let you start this one off just with your initial thoughts, and then Cardell.
Another ugly win, but the ugly ones count too. And I mean, that's just what's most important, putting one in the win column. But they've been making a habit of pulling out games like this lately, and I don't know if that's if that's a good thing or not. I mean, of course, it's good to win the games, but you don't want to get comfortable and maybe get into a mindset of, we'll pull it out at the end, because when you start to get to those better teams, and of course, once you get in this playing situation, you're not going to be able to do that. You got to put 48 minutes together. They didn't do that tonight, but fortunately, they still came out with the W. Just really their defense in the fourth quarter and execution down the stretch. We've seen a couple times during the streak where, the game will be in limbo, and then in the closing moments, Bill and Westbrook get aggressive and take over. That's pretty much what we saw tonight. Cleveland, they gave them everything they wanted, for most of the game. But the Wizards clamped down in the fourth, held them to 17 points. That type of defense is it's hard to overcome. They got stops when they need them. They scored when they needed them. They got energy and big plays from different guys. Like Wilson, you mentioned that Gafford, Jared Allen matchup was fun, man. And that shows Gafford's value, because without him, they have absolutely nothing to deal with the type of player that Jared Allen is. Then especially with Lopez going down, they got even thinner up front. So yeah, Gafford, he earned his keep again tonight. Bertans, he had some big shots. Of course, Bill got it going down the stretch when he was able to get it going offensively. But yeah, man, they just got to start putting complete games together. Tonight they did keep the turnovers down. They shot the ball reasonably well, but for most of the game, Cleveland couldn't miss. Cleveland won the battle on the glass and points in the paint. Those during his win streak, those were areas that the Wizards usually dominate. So Cleveland kind of flipped the script on them tonight. But Wizards did what they had to do and got the win. But again, this is a team you should beat, and they got this one by the skin of their teeth. Like, who knows what happened if Sexton plays tonight? You gotta start to establish yourself as one of the teams in the top half of the league, and to be perfectly honest, struggling against the Cleveland or lesser teams like that, that ain't gonna get it done, man. But it's, as I said, it's good that they still maintain the momentum, stockpiling these wins heading into the closing parts of the season, so they can go ahead and lock up this play-in spot.
Go ahead, Cardell.
I mean, I knew the Cavs would play them tough, because they've been playing the last 4 games coming into this game. They've been playing teams tough. They beat the Bulls by dang near 20. And keep in mind, the Bulls beat the Wizards early in the season. I think they beat them a couple times. They played Charlotte. They played Charlotte tough. They played a few teams tough where they just lost at the end, kind of like tonight. So their young boys are tough. They're athletic. They can play. They're not scared. They got something they can build on, especially in the backcourt. Like Raymond said, Sexton didn't play today. He had a concussion from the Charlotte game. So this game could have easily been different. I knew it would be tough. I wasn't one of those people saying the Wizards should win this game because at the end of the day, they only had 27 wins and Cavs had 21. It took an 8-game win streak for them to even, kind of get out of this. So in a sense, they're in the same boat. They're fighting for the play-in spot. You know what I mean? So this is what makes this game so pivotal. And I think also when Sexton was out, I think the Wizards, in a sense, kind of came out a little bit lackadaisical, like, all right, let's just get through this game, nobody get hurt and whatnot. And the Cavs wasn't having it. They took it to them and forced them to play, especially Jared Allen. I knew that matchup with him and Gafford was going to be key, man. You know what I'm saying? Just inside, they have similar styles, but obviously Allen's a little bit more advanced skill-wise. And, his play around the block, his variety of shots. Whereas right now, Gafford, the only way he can score is free throws and lob plays. And Darius Garland, people not really paying attention to him. Like I said, I watched the last few games because I knew the Wizards would have to deal with them. I think they're going to have to deal with them again very soon. They want to deal with them to try to secure the play-in spot. And they've been playing well. Him and Sexton that's the foundation for them moving forward. That backcourt is nasty, but they're young. They're trying to figure out how to win, but when they figure it out, it's going to be problems. You know what I mean? So they just got to show their front line. I felt like Jared Allen, Darius Garland controlled the game for the majority of the game. Like I said, being young, they couldn't finish. If they understood how to control control the clock, control pace and stuff in the fourth, they could have possibly won this game. Like I love the you touched on the Wilson. I love the battle between Allen and Gafford, two athletic big men that do all the dirty work, rebound the ball, block shots, dunk on you. They try to sell us that those type of big men were extinct and they didn't matter anymore, but clearly they do. Their impact matter. They talking about just shoot threes and all that skill, but what Jalen Rose called wheel guys, they matter because the wheel guys, if they up to play, can overcome the skill. You know what I mean? And that's the chess match between the two. And if you got the will and the skill, that's when you have an all-time great player. And it's only a handful of those. I just feel like Jared Allen, yeah, he got the better of Gafford overall, but I feel like Gafford down the stretch made more winning plays. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, with Russ helping with some of his clutch passing. I'm going to get to that later, but that was the difference. This is the first time the Wizards have lost the points in the paint battle in a few games. That tells you that the Cavs were scrapping. You know what I mean? They didn't allow them to just do all that. They crowded the lane and made them 3-point. They made them shoot from three, which is what a lot of teams have been failing to do. Bertans hit a clutch one. Bill hit a clutch one. Matthews hit a clutch one in the fourth, and that ended up being the difference of the game, man. Just little things. Even, both teams shot well because it was the Cavs won the rebound margin 37-36. Think about it. When was the last time you seen rebounds overall for both teams in the 30s? That means both teams was getting buckets. So, that's just wild. I feel like turnovers was key in this win. The Cavs turned it over 19 times, and that was the difference. Again, they turned it over 19 times, and the Wiz scored 21 points off that. Whereas the Wiz finally, they control the ball. They only turned it over 10 times. I really that's the game right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by being young. The Cavs guard play down the stretch. Once the Wizards turned up the intensity defensively in the fourth quarter, they started just throwing bad, crazy passes. Throwing it right to the Wizards. And when the Wizards are off to the races, it's hard to just to stop them. And that's that was key, man. But they gotta learn. That's the difference. They have to learn. Robin Lopez was back to his automatic self with the hooks and stuff like that. It was good to see that. He had a couple of off games for him, but his scoring was definitely key to keep Allen honest. That's how Russ and Bill started getting into the lane, getting a rhythm because Gafford and Lopez with their production, Allen couldn't lead them. Otherwise, when Len was in the game, he definitely was staying with Bill and Russ and blocking in shots. So, I like the adjustment Scott Brooks made by taking Len out and just, going with the more productive bigs to keep Allen out, to keep Allen honest where Bill and Russ can get to the lane. Bill was Bill, man. What else can you say about that? Him, especially late in the fourth. I think he scored 7 straight points from the 6:05 mark to the 4:55 mark in the fourth to tie it. A lot of people don't know he's one of the most clutch scorers in the league this year. I think he's averaging nearly 4 points a game in a clutch. that's insane. You know what I mean? He gets it done. So I knew they was him or Russ was going to wake up, if not both. I knew they was going to wake up in the fourth and try to win the game. And Bill was the one. So especially with Russ struggling from the field. So that was, great to see, man. And Russ, even though he struggled shooting the ball, he made some clutch passes in the fourth quarter, man. And that's what you mean by making winning plays. And that's what Russ has always been throughout his career. He found Gafford on 2 back-to-back dunks. That kind of gave the Wizards the cushion that they needed to hold on. Where sometimes in the past, Russ might have forced those shots. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be the hero, but he played within the team concept. He got Gafford going, and Gafford made the plays, man. So those were some huge assists, man. And the Wiz bench, they kept them in the game in the first half when the starters, for the most part, were outside of Bill, couldn't score. They were just off. The Wiz bench outscored the Cavs bench 51-14. That's another key thing where they just won the game, and that's part of why the Cavs are where they are. Once you deal with the starters, it's not really much coming off the bench where you got to worry about offensively. And you know what I'm saying? So, that's why it's tough for them to, hold on to win games. And obviously, like Raymond said, the Wizards' defense in the fourth quarter, holding the Cavs to 17 points. It allowed Washington to come back once they got going, with Bill got going, Bertans hit some clutch threes, Russell finding Gafford. And once they got the momentum going offensively with what their defense was still bringing in the fourth, that was all she wrote for the Cavs.
Yeah, I didn't have too much to add to this one. The biggest thing, I thought Russ played a pretty clean floor game. Like Cardell mentioned, I thought he really did a great job of not forcing it. Even the shots that he missed felt like he just missed some good looks. They were shots in his spot. They didn't feel like they're any out of control drives, anything like that. He did a great job driving to draw Jarrett Allen to make plays for Gafford and others. Because one of the big things we know, I don't know how many people watch Jarrett Allen that much because he plays in Cleveland on a regular basis. He's one of the league's premier shot blockers for a reason. The second jump is just as quick as the first jump. I think Neto found that out a couple times where, one of the bigs was sealing him, and Allen found his way over there in time to deny the shot. It was, like you said, it was fun watching those two go at it. I think this is just a second consecutive game where the experience of the Wizards backcourt played a big role down the stretch. We saw Garland was amazing for 3.5 quarters? And it felt like almost all his turnovers came late. Not all of them, but, the costly ones were literally down the stretch. I don't want anybody to take me literally what I'm saying there. But, I put in there the young man had 6 turnovers. I literally felt, I got to go back and look, felt like at least 3 of them were within the last 4 minutes of the game. One comes to mind. He went behind his back with Russ kind of dogging him off the screen and trying to split. Ball comes out, they're out in transition. I think that was a play that led to the Garrison 3 in transition. Again, there's a couple sequences defensively. Washington just did a good job protecting the rim, and not necessarily Gafford at the first time, but the rotation after Gafford. Because there were a couple times where Gafford would leave Allen to go punch a shot, and Allen would get it and then finish because nobody rotated over to Allen. They kind of shored that up a little bit down the stretch. And, I thought, they did enough to get it done. And I know all y'all scream about turnovers. Them turnovers staying at 10 a long way today when the team packed the paint and kept them from doing what they've been doing in this win streak, which is living in the painted area, living down there. Because all Cleveland has is random, different, athletic guys that play the 4 and the 5. That's all that's down there. But it was a good win. They need all the wins they can get. I'm interested to see how Brad feels tomorrow because it's a back-to-back. You got the Spurs tomorrow. If he's not able to go, what that's going to look like. So that's all I really have from tonight. If you guys had anything else you want to share about tonight's game?
No, Garland had 2 turnovers late in the fourth.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they were pretty key.
So we'll move on to the comments. As always, we appreciate you guys leaving the comments over on YouTube. For those that are watching now, whether it be on Facebook Twitter and or Instagram live. Feel free to comment. We can respond to you live. That is an option if you so choose. Or you can continue to let all the YouTubers have the fun. It's up to you. Either way, we got 4 to get through tonight. Which one of you guys wants to go first?
What's the question?
I need to know who wants to step up first. Then I put the question up.
Oh man, we doing blind falls tonight?
Oh yeah. Why not? We
You
got
know
this.
I don't care. I mean, it don't matter. I already saw him anyway.
This is facts. From Eric Reeves, OKC has some highly athletic players. We can see what they could be. Experience won this one, but they gave the Wiz fits on both ends in the first half. Once they develop, they're going to be scary. In regards to the Wiz, the turnovers are still way too high. If it wasn't for the high turnovers, Brad and Westbrook could have been icing their knees in the third quarter. All in all, the Wiz are getting it done. They're doing this with injuries. I definitely would love to see when Bryant comes back how him and Gafford would work.
I'll go. I guess we're not crazy talking about the turnovers. For some of these people that be in the comments, I guess people feel the same way. But nah, he's right. You know, I said the same thing with Baisley and guys like Baisley and Roby, and obviously I know he didn't play, but Shy. They definitely have some youngins that's on the verge now. You know what I mean? Experience is everything. I mean, you got to look at it. I think Shy will be a junior, senior in college right now. Baisley will be a sophomore. You know what I mean? Like, people got to keep things in proper perspective and look what they're doing. I mean, you can see what they're going to be in the future if they stay healthy and just continue to work. It's going to be issues, man. So, yeah, definitely. OKC definitely has some pieces where, you know, they keep developing like they are. They're going to be a handful. Obviously, turnovers, man, it is what it is. I mean, turnovers are never a good thing, man. I don't even understand why people are just cool with high turnover, you know, rates. You do that, you're gonna lose most of the time if you got high turnovers, man. All that 7 to 8 turnover stuff, that's not good at all, especially for guard play. You know, he's right. They just control the ball. That was the expectation, that they would be chilling in the third, a la the Warriors when they're competing for championship style, and getting ready for the next game. But no, they didn't. But still, they found a way to win. So it is what it is. And yeah, we've been talking about it since Gafford came on board. I can't wait to see what Thomas Bryant and Gafford do. Obviously, Thomas Bryant was playing the Gafford role. It's just that Bryant is more skilled than Gafford. He can shoot the three, you know, take you off the bounce pass. He could do a little bit more than Gafford. So that's why at the beginning of the year we felt they were a playoff team, but they got off to a very, very slow start. And Russ was trying to battle back from his injury. They was picking up some bad L's, you know what I'm saying? So trying to get the chemistry right. And then right when they started getting momentum, Thomas Bryant went down with the ACL. So it is what it is. But you're going to need, like I keep saying, you're going to need 2 of these bigs, man. You can't just have one. Like, I just got through watching one right after the Wizards finish, the Bucks versus the Hawks. You know what I mean? You got Giannis, who's a monster. Then you got Lopez. But on the other side, they got Collins. And then I forgot to send the name that quick. They came from Houston. Capella. Capella.
Yeah.
They got Capella. You know what I mean? Like, multiple teams in the East got a couple bigs that are athletic. New York, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and you got Nerlens Noel. You know what I mean? So they got multiple bigs that are athletic. They can run the floor, block shots, finish. You need a couple of them, man. I mean, you know, the Wizards, you know, they didn't have one, but they lucked up into one when Brian went down. They needed a big. I don't know why Chicago gave up Gafford. I don't know what they was doing, man. It is what it is, man. But I know the Wizards are happy, so they got a couple moving forward, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see how, you know, they grow together once the season's over, and, you know, they get a chance to get in the gym together during the summer.
Ray, I'm gonna take a guess. You probably don't have too much to add to this one. Yes.
Nah, man, that was pretty much hit the nail on the head. I ain't gonna waste somebody's time.
Cool. So this one we're going to lead off with. This is from Darren Bell. Great win. I watched every game this season, and they finally seeming to figure it out. I like the 3-guard lineup. Russ and Bill quietly, in my opinion, best backcourt in the NBA. Russ tied with Harden for most assists in the league. Brad's battling Steph for league leader in scoring. I don't think that's ever happened in history with any backcourt.
I mean, yeah, they are getting some good wins during the stretch. Some could be a little cleaner than others, but like I said earlier, the most important thing is that you get a positive number in the win column. Yeah, they do seem to be getting some continuity at this point. Given everything that's gone on from injuries to their unexpected 2-week hiatus. The things are starting to round out for them. And with experienced guys like Russ and Brad, it's only natural that they start to get some cohesiveness and kind of figure this thing out a little bit. And that's what we're seeing now. And they're peaking at the right time. In regards to best backcourt in the NBA, I mean, that's I don't know. I don't have an opinion in regards to that right now. I just think they need to be focused on continuing to win games. They can leave the superlatives for for the fans and the media or what have you. I don't think that's what's on their mind. I'm pretty sure they would think that regardless, just because of who they are as players and their competitive nature. But I don't have an opinion on that either way. They're gelling right now, and they're playing really well together, and that's really what's most important.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it too. Obviously, Neto gonna always compete hard. We know what Russ and Bill gonna bring. It may, Brooks may adjust it depending on who they play. Some teams are just too big. They have a 3-guard lineup. You asking for them to go to work on you. Are they the best backcourt in the league? They may believe that, but I'm gonna say no. I think the Nets backcourt, when they're healthy with Harden and Kyrie, I think they got them. Obviously, Dame and CJ feel like they better. And when Clay's healthy, him and Steph, obviously they're the ones, pretty much the only ones with chips. You know what I mean? So we gotta pump the brakes on that. Yeah, but they might be playing the best right now, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that matters, man. So if they keep that up, they're gonna have a lot to say because they're dumb hot right now. So just keep moving. The goal is to just keep moving up the standings and get the best possible playoff position you can get.
All right, on to the next one. This is from Big O. Scott Brooks is doing a hell of a job with this group right now, but he has to give up those dumb 2 PG rotations with Ish and Russ. Neither one of them can shoot, so they're a liability on offense. All the defense has to do is pack the paint. That speed lineup dream needs to be done.
Well, one, Scott Brooks, yeah, I've been saying he's doing a hell of a job. And, it's funny, you don't hear the people that say he should be fired talking. They never go the other way where it's only the negative. That's how people roll. But yeah, he's found the rhythm with the guys. He found something, and I think honestly, I think early in the season, I don't know if you guys remember when the starters just came off flat, and that included Bill and Russ, and he just benched them and put the subs in, and they started fighting. They brought them back. I think ever since then, that was in the midst of the Wizards losing a lot of games. I think that set the tone where Brooks, from then on, like, I'm playing the guys that's ready to play. I don't care who you are. So that set the tone. So you saw guys that may start this game, they ain't start the next few games, may not even have played, and guys knew, like, if I don't bring it, I'm gonna be on the bench. So I think that's established the team bringing it every game. They didn't win the games, but at least the effort was there. It was a time early in the season where the Wizards' effort just wasn't even there. It was just like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing you miss shots or something like that, but effort should never be in question overall as a team, and that was. So once he established that, guys started playing up to par, energy-wise, and then the execution came, then the health came, and you see the results. The wins came. The wins are coming. As for Ish and Russ, I mean, you can't dictate everything off of shots, man. I mean, like, all right, fine, they may miss some shots here and there, but what they do is they find shots for other guys, and that's what Scott Brooks wants. He wants the Wizards to have pace, be fast, get possessions. You know what I'm saying? I think they're number one still in the league. They've been number one all year in pace. Those 2 guys is 2 of the fastest point guards in the league, and they can make plays. And I know you saying they may miss shots as far as jumpers or whatnot. They still can finish inside. So you can't just leave them open like they're incapable of making shots. But with their speed, it creates mismatches because when you're in transition, you got to stop the ball. That's what you're taught. First thing you do is stop ball. Sometimes that may be a big. Well, somebody got a mismatch. And then that's when you find other guys. You find Bertans leaking out and he's open. Garrison Matthews leaking out and he's open. Or you might find Bill in a situation where Big is on him. Slow it up, give him the ball, go to work. Or Lopez or Gafford or somebody might be running basket to basket. And now they got a point guard on them. All the point guard can do is foul them or get dunked on them or catch a hook from Lopez. That's why you keep them in the game, especially you getting that on Bill, certain guys rest or whatnot. But the pace, the speed, it creates mismatches. And that's key for the Wizards, man. Obviously they're not the biggest team and outside Gafford, they're not the most athletic, but creating mismatches helps them be able to score and, take advantage and keep the defense honest. So, hey, like I keep saying, go do Brooks, do what you gotta do to keep winning. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Ray, you got anything to add?
I mean, I feel like, and we talked about it before, Ish coming back has really been, a big part of this of their current win streak. For the reasons Cardell laid out. That I feel like they work together in stretches. Yeah, of course the 3-point shooting isn't there, but they can still be effective and score in other ways and also create for other players. So, I mean, and again, I'm gonna trust Scott Brooks to do his job. I don't see a need to to try to switch things up at the moment.
All right, going on to the final comments of this evening. I think this is from S. Smith. It's going to be S. Smith. There's too many numbers after that name. They are right, but that shouldn't take away from irrational fandom. That's the fun part of being a fan. The chastising of the fans is fun. Stop being so sensitive. Another viewer's perspective. They wall fans, I think that's the vibe I get. So this is the one comment I'm going to respond to. So we've been doing this for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Learned you got to take your fandom out of it. Otherwise, we're doing you guys a disservice, right? So that's the only thing I really got to fight back on in the least bit. And I don't know. It's not a fan thing because, be honest, sitting through this season, there's yet to be a time when I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to go watch. So, nah, if I was a fan, I'd be excited. I'd be bouncing around all day like, oh man, the game starts at 7. That's not me. Literally, it hasn't been all season. So it's not a fandom thing here in the least bit. And again, I know we keep saying for like the 900th time, whether someone's a Wall fan, a Harden fan, Bird fan, a Jordan fan, it has been mentioned umpteenth times here that Russell Westbrook deserves the respect that he gets for the resume that he has. And he is, in fact, seen as a Hall of Fame player by everyone here. The problem is that statement doesn't fall in line with everybody's higher views of that. I guess that level of respect is not high enough for everyone. And I'm sorry I can't do any better than that. But yeah, go ahead.
They're right, but that shouldn't take away from rational fandom. So they're acknowledging that we're right, but they just gonna be wrong on purpose just because. Like that doesn't make any sense, man. Like that might be some form of mental illness. Like why would you just choose to be illogical just for the sake of having an opinion? Like that doesn't make sense, man. Like, and I don't think we're the ones being sensitive here. We're just stating things how we see it, and people in the comments calling us haters. Like I don't. But I mean, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like it's not our job to get on here and uplift players and speak positively, regardless of whatever goes on. We have to be objective, because then if we just get on here and say anything, then we lose our credibility, and and then where will we be? You know, we're gonna take 10 steps back to appease some whatever views people have that watch the show. That's not what we're here for. If that's what you're looking for, then maybe this ain't the show for you. I mean, I guess people are used to that shock jock type of type of commentating that that's become so popular over the years, but that's not what's going on here. And they wall fans. We're not fans. Like I don't understand where that comes from, you know. And even if we were Wall fans, we've repeatedly said Westbrook is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So it's not like we're just talking great about one guy and totally disregarding the other guy. So if that's the vibe you get, you're getting the wrong vibe.
Well, right, insecurity and ego. That's why they're irrational, bro. But yeah, nah, it's not even a Wall thing. The only time we bring up Wall is when we say we just felt like when he was shipped out of town, he didn't get the respect that he deserved, and we was clear about who we were talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we said. Y'all the ones that bring up a comparison of the Wall, like before Russ even played the game. You know what I'm saying? It's an upgrade, and you just totally dismissing what he brought. And I'm like, well, think about everything he brought. I mean, he kept the Washington relevant. I don't know if these some young people that's year 2000 people that's just talking, you know what I mean, that don't understand the history of the Wizards and Bullets. It's a bad history. There's only little pockets of success there once you get past the 70s where they would compete for championships every year. But I wouldn't expect most people to know that because they don't even know the history of the game. You know, it seems like before LeBron entered the league, everybody was trash prior to that. So, we just make sure that Wall got his proper respect that he deserved when he got shipped out of town. But we've given Russ compliment when he dominated, when he getting triple doubles, when he's doing what he's supposed to do, when he's in the clutch and all that. But it seems like y'all got hearing issues or amnesia, or maybe both. Y'all pick and choose what y'all want to focus on because we just not over the top, just blindly just praising him or whatever player y'all like at the moment. That's just not how we should roll. We're reporters. We get credentials for a reason to objectively analyze the game, report the game, do all those necessary things. And the funny thing is, y'all get on us for stuff we say, but when we do the pressers post game, Scott Brooks, Russell Westbrook, Brad Beal, they'll say the same damn thing. That's the funny part. They would literally get on there and be like, yeah, I'm turning the ball over. Bill be like, yeah, I played like trash today. I played like ass today, but my teammates picked me up. Scott Brooks, Russ needs to stop turning the ball over so dang much. And some of them passes, if it wasn't Gafford, I'd be like, who you throwing it to, man? You know, like they've said that. So I don't even understand what the issue is, but man, we can't understand these people. We're not like these people. So, they even said we talk down to them. No, it's just, I come from a school of, if you ask a stupid question, you deserve a stupid response. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come down to your level just to show you how dumb it was. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes no sense. Think before you say stuff. That's common sense. You know what I mean? So if y'all don't like it, like Raymond said, we ain't the show for you. Don't watch. You know what I mean?
All right, that's the final comment tonight. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, clearly, because the Wizards have a back-to-back. And then after that, we'll be around for Focus TV on Tuesday night. So we'll see you guys for the next couple of days. Enjoy the Wizards' 8-game win streak. And to piggyback on Carter was talking about the history of this franchise, it's the first 8-game win streak in 20 years.
That's Mike.
Yeah, just to let that settle in. 20 years since that version of Mike was here. So just to get some added perspective. But y'all have a great night for Cardell, Ray, and myself. we will see you guys tomorrow for Wizards